Susie at Shock Family Farm. Today I'm going to show you how to make goat's milk lotion. First of all, I'll show you what equipment that you need, and this equipment all has to be bleached out, even your utensils. Everything that comes in contact with the lotion has to be very, very clean. Now that you know what ingredients to use, let's just recap again on the ingredients. Now, as you see here, this looks like a lot. That's because it is. I multiplied mine times 4, but the ingredients that I share with you is just the times 1 recipe. Okay? So, we'll be measuring out the preservative and the scrumptious almond biscotti fragrance oil here in a little bit. You've got your 9 ounces of distilled water. You have your 1.2 ounces of shea butter. You have your 1.2 ounces of emulsifying wax. Your 1 ounce of stearic acid. You have your 1.7 ounces of sweet almond oil and your 1 ounce of avocado oil already mixed together. And of course your pasteurized 9 ounces of goat's milk. Okay, are you ready to start adding all your ingredients? It's time to get down to the nitty-gritty. Okay, we're going to take our stearic acid and we're going to add that to our avocado oil and sweet almond oil. And then we're going to add our emulsifying wax. And remember, even your spoons have to be bleached out. Everything's got to be clean. And we are going to microwave this 1 to 2 minutes or until the emulsifying wax and stearic acid has melted. Okay, so we'll go do that and I'll be back. Okay, so once we've microwaved this, as you can see, it's all melted in there. You don't see any stearic acid or emulsifying wax. Now we're going to take our shea butter and add that to our emulsifying wax. And this, you just stir it around until it all melts. Mine's a big chunk, so it might take a little bit. There we go. So while that is melting, we can go ahead and add our distilled water to our milk. And then we're going to microwave the milk and distilled water for about a minute or until warm. So we'll go ahead and do that. Okay, now we're going to start adding the oils to the distilled water and the milk. So we'll go ahead and pour this in here slowly, and we're going to stir as we pour. There we go. You can see it's starting to thicken up a little bit just from stirring a short amount of time, but it needs a little help. So what we're going to do is we're going to start putting it in the blender. There's really not a whole nice clean way to do this, or neat way rather. You get a little bit messy. So we'll just add some to the blender. And then we're going to pulse it. We don't want to put it on any other level, but just pulsing it, because it'll start to thicken here pretty quickly. Let's take a look inside. Looks like it's starting to get a little bit thicker, but it needs just a tad bit more. Okay, let's pour this in here. Doesn't that look so nice? And we're going to add some more. And we'll just keep doing this until we're all done. Now you don't want it too thick, or you're going to have a hard time putting it in your little jars. So you still want it a little bit watery. So now that we have the lotion all together, you notice it's a little bit bubbly, but the more we stir, the more we'll work out those bubbles. You might not get rid of all of them all together, but that's okay. And now we're going to measure out the preservative. A lot of my supplies I get from Brambleberry. That's brambleberry.com. So you want 0.2 ounces of preservative. Again, I'm doing a little bit more. So once you've got your lotion mixed together and it's starting to thicken, we're going to add the preservative. Now it's very important that you mix this preservative in really well. So stir it around and get it worked in there really good. Okay, now we're going to measure out fragrance oil. This is almond biscotti, and it smells really good. We're going to do 0.1 ounce of fragrance oil. Again, mine will be a tad bit more. And then we stir that in. Work that fragrance in really good. And you want it about this consistency when you are putting it in your jars. If you get it too thick, it's going to take you forever to fill those jars up. And if you do get it too thick, don't worry. You can put it in the microwave in a, microwavable bowl, not like this. But you can put it in the microwave and heat it up a little bit and it'll make it not quite so thick. Okay. Now we are ready for filling our jars. I use these type of jars. For these bigger jars, I like to use the pump, but you can also use these little lids like this. I use these for my smaller jars. But for bigger, I'm going to use the pump. You also need a funnel, which makes it a lot easier putting that lotion in. So all you do now is you just dip and pour. You make sure you don't overflow it like I almost did there. On. And there you have it.